Hello guys, today on Monday we're going to work in English. So as every Monday we're going to start a new reading. Check. We need our reader's book, our English notebook, and our journey's book. First of all, the garden from Frog and Toad together. Instructions. We have to go for our book and read the what's to know that are in the page 10 and in the page 11. Then we have to read the story The Garden from Frog and Toad Together that are from the page 15 until the page 29. The words to know that you can find in the page 10 are the number 1, few, and we have one example. There are only a few trees here. Number 2, night. The bats open in the day and close at night. In the page 11, you can find from the number 3 until the number 8. 3. Loudly. The birds sang loudly in the tree. 4. Window. The big tree is very close to the window. 5. Noise. I heard a noise in the garden. 6. Story. He tells a story about planted trees. 7. Shall. We shall pick apples today. And the last one, that is 8, is world. My garden is the best place in the world. Now let's start reading our story. And as you can see in the page 15, you can see that we have an essential question about this. And it says, what grows in a garden? So maybe you can talk with your mom or with your dad about what do you think that is growing there in a garden. Let's start. Frog was in his garden. Toad came walking by. What a fine garden you have, Frog, he said. Yes, said Frog. It's very nice, but it was hard work. I wish I had a garden, said Toad. Here are some flower seeds. Plant them in the ground, said Frog, and soon you will have a garden. How soon? asked Toad. Quite soon, said Frog. Toad ran home. He planted the flower seeds. Now seeds, said Toad, start growing. Toad walked up and down a few times. The seeds didn't start to grow. Toad put his head close to the ground and said loudly, now seeds start growing. Toad looked at the ground again. The seeds didn't start to grow. Toad put his head very close to the ground and shouted, now seeds start growing. Frog came running up the path. What is all this noise? He asked. My seeds will not grow, said Toad. You are shouting too much, said Frog. These poor seeds are afraid to grow. My seeds are afraid to grow, asked Toad. So, guys, you have here what words are repeated in these pages and why. So maybe you can talk about this with your mom or with your dad and said what words are repeated on these pages. Of course, said Frog. Leave them alone for a few days. Let the sun shine on them. Let the rain fall on them. Soon your seeds will start to grow. And you can see in the page 21, guys, that the frogs are watching to the ground and seeing that the seeds are not growing. Then, that night, Toad looked out of his window. Drat, said Toad, my seeds have not started to grow. They must be afraid of the dark. Toad went out to his garden with some candles. I will read the seeds a story, said Toad. Then they will not be afraid. Toad read a long story to his seeds. Then analyze the text, story structure. What is Toad's problem? How is he trying to solve it? So think about this and maybe you can discuss about this question with your mom and maybe you can give me the answer if you want. Then, all the next day, Toad sang songs to his seeds. And all the next day, Toad read poems to his seeds. And all the next day, Toad played music to his seeds. Toad looked at the ground. The seeds still didn't start to grow. What shall I do? Cried Toad. This must be the most frightened seed in the whole world. Then Toad felt very tired and he fell asleep. Toad, Toad, wake up! said Frog. Look at your garden. Toad looked at his garden. Little green plants were coming up out of the ground. At last, shouted Toad, my seeds have stopped being afraid to grow. And now you will have a nice garden too, said Frog. Yes, said Toad. But you were right, Frog. It was very hard work. That's it, guys. This is all the story. And the point is that you have to look for the what's to know that maybe you practiced at the beginning. And this is in the activity number 2. Instructions. Write in your notebook. Of course, don't forget to write date, to write the value, and to write the topic. The page in which you can find the what's to know in the story. You have here view, night, loudly, window, noise, story, shall, and word. So the point is that you have to write on the line in which page you found it. And the last thing for the activity 3, in our reader's book, journey's book, we have to answer page 79. That's it, guys. I hope that you have a nice day.